Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Resonant Rise. I believe this is episode 25. I'm Illusion, and just logging into the world, and I have to say I'm kind of annoyed. Um, any guesses why? Greg, why? Yeah, why? What's the point of this? So your first guess is, oh, yeah, that's April Fool's joke. Okay, that's fine. I'm recording on April 2nd in the afternoon, so I don't get it. Quite annoyed. Um, but luckily we're not going to work on Greg Tech today because this would just piss me off. I want to show you something real quick though while I'm thinking about it. Remember, I guess the last couple episodes I started processing the osmium through the industrial grinder. Well, so yeah, we're doing okay on iridium now. Yeah, those are all ingots. And it looks like there's just about half a stack of dust that needs to be cooked. So yeah, we're doing okay. In fact, I haven't even turned on the replicator in a while, and the mass fab is still running, but it's at 235 buckets. Um, probably should check. Okay, yeah, looks like we're okay. Alright, so what we're going to work on today is big reactor stuff. That'll be the project for the day. The quarry's still running. The ender quarry, the one we set up with the fences, it finished. And it doesn't even look like the terrain was touched. And then, of course, the normal quarry is still running. Wrong way. Picked up 1,400,000 stone off of that. So that's kind of why I wanted to make another dedicated drive just for those two. And then that's 61,000 cobble. So cool. Alright, so what we're going to work on is big reactor stuff like I talked about. So let me grab crafting table. Needs a glass. That seems close. I pulled off some of the resources already and stuck them over here. That way I wouldn't get them lost, and was kind of counting to see how much I needed. So that's kind of the big reactor stuff. So this episode, we're going to try to get this turbine up and running. And so let's get started. So the first thing we do, let's make some glass. Make 80. So to make turbine glass is 2 glass around each turbine housing. So I made 80, and I think that'll be enough. All the size is 90, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So let's get this down. It's got a nice connected texture. Looks really good. And after we get this in, we're going to jump over. No. We're going to jump over to my test world, and I'm going to show you a little bit of testing that I did a couple days ago with big reactors. So let's get this in. Okay, cool. Just break you. Nice. Okay. No. So I want. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna lay this out. Actually, let's do that now. So I want. Oh, I still gotta make the controller. Okay, let's make the controller first. That way we can get this put in. So controller. Come on. Come on, there we go. Okay. That's just annoying right there. I mean, that's whatever. Alright. There's our turbine controller. I think I'll put you here and put the power tap. I think the power tap right here. That's a fluid port. That's okay. Alright, and then we'll do power port. Now, I am going to do a spotlight on big reactors with the update. That'll probably... I'm not sure if I want to do applied energistics next or this. I'm going to do both, but I don't know if I told you before, I think, that I recorded an AE and kept getting interrupted. The phone rang, the dogs were barking, the doorbell rang. Uh, just I couldn't get anything done, and then my just time ran out for recording on that day. So I had to I trashed the whole video. Okay, so then I will put you here. Okay, so I might need to get just a little bit more glass. I just estimated that I need about 80. Of course. Of course. Just two or one? Just one. Okay. Alright, so that's our outer shell. So we're good with that. So now we gotta put the turbine in. So there's my last piece of cyanide that I needed. Okay, so let's get this installed. Kind of put this in backwards compared to where I wanted. It's okay. I can fix it. So I've done a little bit of testing with this, like I was saying. We're gonna jump over my test world so I can show you what I found and kind of where I want to go with it. Alright, so there's our shaft, and then blades. We're gonna put one. Nope, not there. Oh, wrong piece. Messing this all up. Let me just take these out of my inventory. What's the deal? Alright, now I got it. It was just trolling me there for a minute. Okay. Lay these here, not there. And then we'll go jump over to my test world. Okay, so I got 3 blades in there right now. And should have, yes, perfect. Okay, so let me go jump over to my test world, and I'll break the camera that way, since it takes a minute to load up. So I'll see you over my test world. Alright, here we are. We're in my test world that I've been using for this just to try different things. So I built several turbines. So these 4 right here are the same size turbine that I built. So I'm using a spreadsheet that I got from ACO that I believe Zeiss made. So from what I can gather, the 2 top tier blocks in this setup to use as a coil. So I should explain this. So basically, steam is going to turn the turbine's going to run through. These blocks are going to act like a coil, turning the rotational power into electricity, RF to be more specific. So the different materials that you use as a coil will dictate how much output you're going to get. So off the spreadsheet that I found is the 2 high-end materials to use is Enderium block and this Tartarite from Metallurgy 3. So I've done some testing with all of them. And let me activate all of them. You're active. Okay, so it just looks slow while recording, which I had heard was a problem. Okay, so if you click on the GUI, you can see that's at like 900 RPM. It just looks really slow while recording, but cool. All right, so basically I have these identical setups. So these are 4 blades with 2 coils, 4 blades with 2 coils, and then 5 blades with 1 coil, 5 blades with 1 coil. So basically I was trying to compare the difference between these 2 blocks as acting as a coil. So if you look on here, so this is the max RPM I can get out of this. It's right at 900 RPM. If you click on this little tooltip, if I can get rid of NEI, it says the rotors perform best at 900 or 1800 RPM. So that's what you're looking for, is on your rotational speed is 900 or 1800. So this is putting out 4151 RF a tick at nearly perfect on the RPM range, then using the Tartarite. So if I jump down here, this one I can't get above 748 RPM, and this is only 3671. So you can see there's a 500 RF difference between these two, probably directly related to the rotation speed. Now, from what the slide or the research said, the Enderium was supposed to be the high-end block, and this was supposed to be the second to the top. But from what my research right here, my testing, is this one has more drag, or I'm calling it drag because I don't know what else to call it, because it can't achieve a higher RPM than this one. This one can achieve a higher RPM, which gives you better output. Now, if you're at may say yourself, if you're familiar with this, you're like, you only have it at 400 millibuckets a tick. Well, that's true. But even if I take it up to 2000, which is the max, it still doesn't go any higher. 400 is what it basically caps out at. So basically, I was just trying to fine tune it to see what it's most efficient at as far as the flow rate. So there's basically 500 RF a tick difference between these two. Now these ones, again, I'm going with more of a high-speed setup. I can't get this one above 1500 RPM, and this is only putting out 2600 RF. Jump up to here, this is at nearly at 1800 RPM, and this is at putting at 4100 RF a tick. So if you notice, these two are at the RPM capacity and have a much better RF output than the Enderium, even though the Enderium block is supposed to be a higher end material. So I will be the first person to say that I have not figured out what the most best setup for this. And if you're trying to figure out, hey, which blocks to use and how many rotors and how many blades and all, I still haven't figured that out. And I'm going to keep testing it until I figure out. But as for our first build today, we're going with this one right here, a 4-bladed 2-coil setup running at the lower RPM to output us at 4151 a tick, and this is stable at 360 millibuckets a tick. So I just wanted to kind of show you, what I had done as far as testing, because on paper it says Enderium's the better one, but not according to my test world right here. I even tried to build a super huge one, and it didn't work out well at all. I built a long one with like, I guess 3 coils in it, and it didn't work out so well either. So that's what we're going with. One now right there. So test world over. I'll meet you back in the other world. Okay, we're back. That stupid Enderman's still back there. Get out of my power room. Nice. 4 ender pearls. So now you can see kind of where I was going. So I need to make another set of blades, and we need to make that the coils. So I've already ran to the Twilight Forest and picked up all the materials. So let's start processing those through. Let me actually pull it up. Actually, let's make the other blade while I have it pulled up on the eye. Turbine rotor blade right there. So we just need another 4 of you. We'll put the rest of this up. So this Tyrite, I may be saying it wrong, I'm not sure, is a mixture of, oh, I could have done it the other way, but of this adamantine and Altaris. So I went and picked up a lot of that. So I already processed some of it through. We'll pulverize that. There it is. Alright, so let's go stick these in the, oh, we're not going to put it in here. Yeah, we can do that. So let's let that work for a second, and let's get the rest of this rotor built. Should have just waited to put this glass in, but I didn't. Oops. Yeah. Just try using the blades this time. There we go. Okay, cool. So we got that going. We just need to, I'm going to hold off on putting another 2 shafts in there until we get the coils made. It's kind of hard to make, I've found. Alright, so you're asking yourself, okay, so if this is only going to put out 4100 RF tick, it's not a whole lot better than this thing right here, because it's putting out, 3900. That's true. You're absolutely true. However, I can convert this one over to run steam, to make steam instead of output RF. And one of these I have not tested yet. We may test it later in the episode, see where we're at for time. This can run 2, maybe 3 of these size machines. But we have a thing that's already making us a steam right here. So we're just going to port the steam over to here. Make sense? So now we're going to go from, basically putting out 4,000 RF. Now we're going to be putting out 8,000 RF between the 2 things. Make sense? And we can expand this a little bit. We can easily jump this over to output steam and run some more. Have some of these turbines. Or if I find a better design that we want to try later that can output a bunch of RF, then we can try that. But You know, in the test world that you saw, that was about an hour and a half of work. Um, so I'm not sure. I'm sure as the mods comes out longer, people are going to find a cool way to do it. So, and I'll spend some more time in test world. We're just basically making the entry level of machine because that's all we have the resources for. Okay, I thought it was just a shapeless recipe. Um, hmm. Well, let me see what's going on with this thing. Alright guys, I got it sorted out. So, originally what that was the crushed version. And so I had to go through the Greg Tech way of macerating and cooking and crushing and grinding and all back up. So I finally got this back to just real dust and nothing else. Finally. So let's make some of this stuff right here. So we're going to need 8 blocks on each coil, so that's 16 blocks, right? 16 blocks times 9, 144 ingots. So a little over 2 stacks. $128. That's enough. Okay. Cook, please. Okay, cool. So we got that going. And then we just gotta go run this down to the compressor and let it compress up to make blocks out of it. Alright, let's run that down there. There we go, cool. Maybe we'll pop over to the quarry. But Metallurgy 3 is a mod that I'm not super familiar with. I mean, I looked it up a little bit when I was researching this and when I was figuring out how to make this, and kind of cool. So we'll just let you finish off. Let's see how many blocks that is. Um, oh, that's right. That's right. Wrong thing. Hello. So 16, exactly what we need. Perfect. So I'll just grab you back out. And let's get this coil made. I'll show you how I think I'm going to set this up. So 1, 2. So let's throw that coil in there, or that shaft in there. Okay, there. So that should complete the casing. Nice. Looks pretty cool too. Alright, so let's get this thing wired up. Let me go grab some cable and some other stuff. Be back in a second. Alright, I think I got everything. So I just have a reinforced portable tank here. This is going to be a turbine fluid import. So basically this is a way for me to get steam into the reactor. Or a turbine, I should say. Jump up here. That's fine. Be still, be still. Okay. Alright. So basically I'm going to use this little reinforced tank. It's kind of like a buffer tank. Because remember what I was showing you that our output's like 360 steam a tick, and there's no really setting. There's 250, 20, and 1,000. So got there. Let me set this up for steam. Oh, there we go. Let me turn off NEI for you. So moving 1,000 millibuckets a tick. Okay. So we got that set up. I brought some conduit over. We'll wait to hook that up. Let's give this a test run. So let's get going. So switch suits out so I don't die from radiation. So yes, one thing you may be asking yourself, there's a lot of simpler ways to do this. Yep, you're right. No question. But this is fun to me. So good here. I want to event overflow, and I'm just gonna go ahead and set this to 400 now. There we go. There's the 100. I'm gonna set it to 360. 360 is what I know will run it. Okay, so it's going to start filling up its internal buffer. And we say we've got 100% active, 100% efficiency, and we're slowly increasing our power. Awesome. So this port right here I could use if I want to bring out the water, but that's really good if you're trying to make a closed system. So basically the water coming out of here, once it converts from steam back to water, and feed it back into there, you could do that. So cool. Alright, so let me get this wired up so we can actually do something with this power. So let's see where we're going to put the wire, and actually I'm just going to stop you for a second. I just wanted to give a little test run since we're kind of wasting power. Alright, so let me get this power run and I'll be back in just a second. Alright, here we go. So that should be taking power out of there. It has. Turn you back on. So one thing also I need to keep in mind is that I believe Redstone Energy Conduit has a throughput of 10,000 RF, and over here we're approaching that. So these things should be going up pretty quickly. Well, that's not up to full speed, so. But once it gets going a little bit, so we're basically at 1,000 RF a tick now. And this thing should be filling up, back up with steam. That it is. In fact, it's just about ready for me to cut it off. So cool. So now we have a secondary set of power. And to be honest with you, I know it looks slow on camera. It looks really cool once you're when you're doing it for real. You get 30 frames a second. So we're here with this. Guess you're about out. That's kind of glitchy. Okay, cool. So let me do a quick time check and I'll see where we're at. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so looks like we're basically at the end of this episode. Just want to quick show you. So basically we're approaching our 900 RPM target. Putting it right at 40, almost 41 and a half, 4150 RF tick, and is just filling this thing up super quick, which can't be pleased about. So basically we've doubled our power, and I'm going to do a little bit of testing with this thing. Let's see if it's can't really convert it over to, well, I guess we could. I don't think it's worth it yet to convert this over to a steam big reactor, because we still need to burn this cyanide, to burn the alarm to get the cyanide out, so we can make more of this. So to convert this whole thing over just to run that and not output any RF from this at all seems a little bit wasteful right now, because we wouldn't be able to put any RF, so basically we'd stuck with whatever we can get out of that. So at this point I don't think it's worth it yet. I think to run the setup like similar setup like this. You know, even what I could do is, if this gets boring, set up a Railcraft steam boiler that basically can put out 360 millibuckets of a tick. Basically plop a boiler right here, pipe the steam over, and a steam boiler is not going to output 4,000 RF a tick, no matter how you configure it. So something to consider too. I don't know. Lots of options to play with. But anyway, thanks for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope it's a little bit entertaining. Hopefully you learned something. And be sure to leave me a comment if you liked it. And I will see you guys on the next one.